let us dive back into the elements of gaming by Hal Ryan, Command and Conquer Tiberium Wars.
Yay!
Twilight Sparkle yawned tiredly as she trudged back to her home library in the town of Ponyville. Last night had been a figurative hell. After Pinkie Pie had scared the living daylights out of her in the dead of night with a slasher smile and a prop chainsaw, the Lavender Unicorn had been utterly unable to sleep, despite Pinkie Pie's subsequent assurances that it had all been in the spirit of good humor. That is, quote-unquote, good humor.
Yeah.
More like dark humor.
Yeah, define good, Pinkie.
There's 3 levels of humor for me.
Yeah. And considering the news relating to Pinkie Pie in Season 4, I'm not gonna like her again.
Anyways.
Wait, I never liked her. What's new?
Eye bags heavy under her eyes and eyelids fluttering weakly, desperately trying to stay open, Twilight gave the door to her home a tired tug before virtually collapsing at her doorstep in a heap, moaning tiredly.
Spike. Spike!
She called out her typical...
Typical moan and groan.
There goes that diabetes again.
Whoa. Can you repeat that? Because I missed it in your moment of diabetic shock.
Spike! Spike!
She called out in her typical manner, and as faithfully as ever, her #1 assistant was already there to help her up. Whoa, Twilight! Spike exclaimed in shock as he came to answer the door, only to find his closest friend collapse at the doorstep in an exhausted heap. What in blazes happened to you?
Fatigue did.
The Violet Unicorn answered in a mutter as Spike helped her back onto her hooves and staggered forward back into the welcoming comfort of her home.
Give me some tea, will you, Spike? I've got a massive headache that needs soothing.
Got it! One part of...
What?
Brutalite, is that you?
Yes, this is the voice actress for Brutalite.
No, I meant in the store. How? I mean. No,
oh, yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
Just keep going.
One part of...
What is it, Spike? Another letter from the princess?
No, it's something big. Before Spike could say anything else, the infant dragon belched forth a massive column of green fire, much larger than the normally tiny wisps he was accustomed to, resulting in a long and rather disgusting sound.
Spike, I know this is your royal duty, but for heaven's sake, show some decorum. Where are your...
Before Twilight could finish her sentence, the massive green column of fire coagulated into a rolling spear of fire above her head, somehow suspending itself in midair.
Spike, what is that?
In a flash of green light, the sphere dispelled itself, and revealed a large and rather heavy-looking black box within. Hovering almost comically over Twilight's head for a few seconds, gravity soon decided it was time to put that joke to an end.
Wait.
With a loud... What?
Seriously? Joke?
With a loud, resounding crash and a muffled from the purple unicorn, the box came down hard on Twilight's midsection and pinned her to the floor. Ouch.
Ow!
Talk about pinned.
No! Talk about
Hurry! Ring the bell! Ding 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 ding!
I was about to say that's gotta be like the worst thing for a headache ever.
Yeah. Craning her neck up from the floor, Twilight affixed her faithful assistant with a gaze at any sparrow would otherwise cut through concrete walls.
Did you plan this, Spike?
I see what you did there, Raiden. I see that reference you put to feeling pinky keen there. I know, yeah. Spike put on a facade of mock surprise and gave Twilight an utterly mock look of consternation. Twilight! I'm shocked that you would think I'd ever do such a thing on purpose!
And stop giving me that face and come over here and get this thing off me!
Wow, I'm so glad I'm using the bad ear.
Wow. Getting a little huffy there, aren't we, Twilight?
Hardy har har, Spike.
She countered, clearly not in the mood for jokes. Spike quickly moved to Twilight's side, giving the heavy-looking box a lift and practically staggering backwards as he wobbled unsteadily under his weight. Whoa! Man! Twilight, this thing is heavy! remarked the baby dragon as he carefully set the box down on the floor, not wanting to risk any damage in case its contents were fragile.
You don't say, Spike.
Muttered the lavender unicorn as she stepped closer to the box, her curiosity overpowering the fatigue that weighed down so heavily on her bones.
I wonder what this thing is, and why the princess would have sent it to me. Looks pretty similar to the Xbox, just bigger and heavier.
Xbox!
Hold up, said Spike, giving his stomach a grab as another wave of gas hit him, forcing him to cover his mouth with a claw. I think I feel another one. Without warning, another belch of green flame escaped from the dragon's mouth, but this time much, much smaller. The typical wisp of flame that preceded the letter from the princess, and sure enough, the wisp coalesced right before Twilight, unfurling to reveal a thin, rectangular box that glistened with a chromatic sheen. Attached to the front of the box by a simple wax seal was a tiny letter. As Twilight peered closer, she could make out the ornate seal of the royal palace and her mentor's signature penmanship.
Dear, dearest, most faithful student, I do hope you very much enjoy the latest title put together by the very talented engineers over here at the Caroline University of Electrical Engineering.
Twilight gave her eyes a short rub.
If exhaustion is any sign of enjoyment, I'm at Pinkie Pie's greatest party ever.
Wait, what? Wait!
No.
Somebody reply that, what?
Shadow, you want to go on and repeat that?
If exhaustion is any sign of enjoyment, I'm at Pinkie Pie's greatest party ever. Hey, you want some ointment with that burn?
Ooh!
Where'd you get the sweet fagula moves? What?
Anyways, turning her eyes back to the princess's letter, Twilight read on.
It is my pleasure to inform you that as of today, you will be receiving another prototype, this time from the esteemed Canterlot University for Computer Science. They would like to seek both you and your friends for aid in the testing of this new device. I believe they had dubbed it the Personalized Computation and Calculation Terminal, or Personal Computer for short.
So not only do Xboxes exist, but...
Hold on.
Apparently a computer exists too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Apparently,
get,
son of a bitch.
The
Yeah,
PC
you-
Master Race...
Hold on. Are we questioning the plausibility of modern day real world devices in a fictional world?
Well, I'm
Why couldn't
saying
they just-
PC,
With flying ponies, no less?
it just goes to show, nowhere is safe from the PC Master Race.
Okay, come on. Okay.
Seriously, why can't they?
Right
Okay,
now,
excuse me
as
on this.
great as
Let's
Hey,
see
hey,
to finish.
Hey,
hold on.
Okay, rather than the fact of being this, they can teleport, fly, somehow have trains, have an arcade machine, a video game arcade machine, and you're fucking gonna question the rather the fact they can have an Xbox or a computer. I don't question.
Anything.
Hey,
or-
shut up. I wasn't done.
Okay.
I don't question the fucking show's logics anymore. It's a fucking cartoon. Come on.
I never question the logic of it. I just
Dude,
enjoy it.
Come on. There could be anything else in that show. It's the creator's thought, not
Yeah.
ours.
I know. Just go.
I don't
along
care.
with it.
I don't care. For as long as on that PC, there's a fucking Doom.
Eh,
Alright.
Anyways,
And before anybody else says anything, as good as the PC is, Nintendo will forever be the master race. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
anyways,
That
moving
wasn't
on.
called for.
You
Let's go.
will find enclosed with this letter yet another game, this time crafted by development teams handpicked by the school's teaching board and approved by none other than myself. They would be very much grateful if you were to extend them a much-needed helping cloth in their testing their latest prototype. P.S. I think you will find this title very much to your liking. Your mentor, Princess Celestia.
Peering down at the box, Twilight gave it a rather apprehensive look, recalling her experience with another game that had war in the title.
Command and Conquer Tiberium Wars? If this is anything like Gears of War, Pinkie Pie's not coming within 3 feet of this. I swear to Celestia. What do you think, Spike?
Oh.
Yeah, when she totally
Actually, you
went...
know what? This game actually sounds like it would be more up Rarity's alley, considering Rarity has a thing for gems, and Tiberium in its regular state does kind of look like a gem.
True enough. He's got a point
Anyway.
there.
Continue.
Shoots!
Unsurprisingly, the baby dragon had already unceremoniously shorn the black box wide open with his claws, and was now wading knee-deep in styrofoam bubbles as he messily sifted through its contents. I don't know about the game, but if it's anything, this thing here sure looks different from anything that's even like the Xbox. I mean, it looks way huger, but it actually comes with its own screen. Twilight mused to herself, turning the box over and looking at the screenshots adorning the back of the cover with a critical eye.
Well, seems pretty tame. I'm not seeing any blood, just a very impersonal bird's eye view of the lots of ponies. Well, if it isn't in your face as Gears of War was, I think this might be just fine. Spike, help me plug this personal computer in. We've got some testing to do.
And it begins.
I'm trying to think of a nice wordplay here. Microsoft Winhoofs? I don't fucking know.
You'll see. Anyway,
Don't try. Just don't.
Much to her consternation, Twilight had found that this personal computer was far more trouble to set up than she had imagined it would have been. Between the peripherals and the mass of entangled wires, a purple unicorn couldn't make heads or tails out of the machine that was fast becoming the bane of her existence. She hadn't have the foggiest idea which hole she was supposed to plug which jack into, and she had to go through the arduous process of trial and error as she tried to fit square pegs into round holes and round pegs into square holes. After what she expected as the 10th hour, yeesh.
Wow.
Good lord!
Why didn't they give her an instruction manual?
Exactly!
As the 10th hour setting out to what should have been a short and easy assembly, Twilight looked at the black box sitting above her desk, a messy mass of wires trailing behind it into various plugs strewn out about beneath it as the screen sat serenely atop the table, its blank screen almost daring her to turn it on.
Okay, I did everything I could follow to the manual that came up with this thing.
Okay, so there is a manual.
If this doesn't work, then I'm a Parasprite.
Well,
Speedrun!
Well, I wouldn't go that desperate, but let's see what happens. Guys?
Almost apprehensive, the Lavender Unicorn looked at what the manual they called a CPU and gave its power button a tentative push. Abruptly, lights on the CPU sprang to life and it began to emit a soft whir, and Twilight's heart leapt with joy at the prospect of her first successful assembly.
Oh my goodness! It's working! Spike, it's working!
The unicorn practically squealed in excitement as she quickly turned on the monitor as well. Her heart sank faster than a flaming unicorn falling from Cloudsdale. That's a pretty nice wordplay there.
Where? Where at now?
Her heart sank faster than a flaming unicorn falling from Cloudsdale.
What?
Flaming unicorn?
Oh! Yeah, you mean when the time when Twilight turned to Ponyta or Rapidash?
Yeah.
Oh no! I thought
Gonzo,
I thought they were making a Rainbow Dash Dyke joke.
Yeah, Gonzo, you still alive there?
Yeah, but I'm wondering why her heart sank. Okay, to explain.
When the monitor's power light turned green, but nothing appeared. Almost immediately, her right eye started twitching and her normally straight veins started fraying at the... Oh, fuck.
What? No, what? Huh?
Somebody want to give her some num-nums or something? Because I think she's going in Twilight Snapple mode here.
You might want to give her something. I think she's gonna crack.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Do not run! It's only hay!
Wow, this is the shortest chapter I've ever seen. Next thing you know, Twilight's in the hospital, we can't even play the game. The end!
Twilight, we haven't plugged it in yet, came Spike's voice as he tried to prevent Twilight from having another major breakdown. Look, there's a wire loose.
A wire loose? Oh my gosh! Quick, Spike, plug it in before we blow up Ponyville or something. What?
Okay, just on that and from the last sentence, I can't tell if this is before or after Lesson 0.
Let's go with after.
Yeah. Twilight rushed to the panic, grabbing the wire from Spike's hand before the infant reptile could react. Sweat pouring from her brow as she dove underneath the device, Twilight swam through the ocean of wires and jammed the wire into the first plug she saw, praying nothing would go wrong.
Twilight, it's just a computer. Calm down.
By some miracle of the sun and stars above, it was exactly the right plug she needed, out of the few still unoccupied ones. She heard a faint buzzing from the desk above her, and she quickly clambered out from under it, frantically checking the monitor to see what had changed. In the center of the screen, a lone window pane came into focus. Slowly it began to divide itself and split apart into 4 sections before each coming to a halt, hovering individually in their respective positions as each segment morphed into a different individual color. As the smaller panes began to take on hues of red, blue, green, and yellow, the words appeared on the screen. Pony Soft Windows XE Philly Edition.
Da 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 da.
Good night, everybody. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
As this rarer says, that's their version of Microsoft Windows XP Home Edition.
Yeah. Well, what the hell is XE?
I don't remember what the hell XP stood for. Extra personal. I think it was extra personal. I think, or something like that. Though maybe XE might be extra equestrial.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
ecstatic, Twilight bounded up and down in her lab in a dizzying display of jubilation, which to any pony who might have seen her would appear as if she had dosed herself on one too many teaspoons of sugar.
Yes, 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 yes!
Squealing that like she
I'm
did back when
having
she
a
was
bad.
4
Hold on. Wait. Just give me a minute. I'm having bad flashbacks to Pinkie Pie discovers Starbucks.
Oh, God!
You mean Pinkie Pie discovers
That was
coffee?
coffee.
No, it's the same shit because there was Starbucks in the freaking story.
Oh, wait.
Star bits, you mean?
So you said, since on Twilight, you said Pinkie Pie discovered coffee? Where?
Shit. Let's not go back. Okay.
Okay, keep going.
Squealing
Yeah, I already said the yes, so keep going.
like she did back when she was first accepted as Princess Celestia's personal student. Twilight bounded up and down across her personal study before eventually settling down, thoroughly exhausted. By the way, speaking of that little tidbit, since I've now actually managed to watch the Cutie Mark Chronicles in its entirety, I'd like to say, holy crap, I didn't know that Twilight could just God mode like that, you know?
Yeah, anyway. I think I'm going to bed now. Spike, be a dear and help me get this game all set up, will you?
Spike snapped to attention and gave a quick salute. You can count on me, Twilight! As the unicorn mare trotted off to bed, Spike gave the PC a challenging grin and walked up to it, the box for Tiberium Wars in his hand. Opening the case, Spike pried out the game's disc and gave it a little twirl. Sweet! I'm lucky. I'll get to play this one before Twilight or any of the others do. Ah.
Oh, boy.
Not happening.
I just
Give
got
me
back out
instructions.
of bad time, did I? I had to go get a drink.
Spike's looking to get ahead of the game, so to speak.
Yep. Head the game.
Not good.
Nope.
Yep.
Continue, please.
No sooner... Hang on.
Giving the
Giving the
instruction.
instruction manual a quick flip and tossing the game in the disk drive, Spike sat himself right in front of the screen, eagerly awaiting his own very own shot at one of these games. No sooner had Spike popped the disc inside, slow whirring came from the device, making him pray he didn't do something wrong. As soon as... had a little too much sweet tonight. As soon as the whirring stopped, Spike extended a trembling claw towards the machine, only to quickly draw back with a loud "Bah!" as a bright and chirpy voice suddenly blasted itself from the speakers Twilight had hooked up earlier. Welcome to Install Shield Unicorn. To proceed with the setup of the game, please select your installation options.
I don't remember Installed Shield ever having voice.
Neither do I.
Let's not question it. Spike's eyes bugged out of the window of options that suddenly appeared on the screen at that, realizing he had absolutely no idea what to do here, lest he accidentally blow up the computer if he chose the wrong option or something, and that his hopes of playing anything at all before Twilight and the others had been dashed completely.
Oh, motherfuck!
What?
That was loud.
Sorry, I didn't know it would be that loud.
Ow! Thanks. Again. Ear.
It's okay, I handled it. It was loud, but I handled it.
Yeah.
And that was wearing earbuds.
Seems she's not only a freaky in voice acting, she's also very tolerant of ear rape like I am.
Yep.
But yeah, Spike is not happy.
I am Shadow. I'd like to extend an invitation to you to be part of motherfucking moderation.
Let's not get into that yet.
Save till after the fanfic.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Please, thanks, KK.
with the first rays of Celestia's dawn seeping into the cracks in Twilight's window, the purple-maned unicorn dragged herself out of bed and gave her stiff limbs a quick morning stretch. After running through her daily morning rituals, giving her man a good brush before brushing her teeth, brushy,
Brushy, brushy, brushy.
God.
Speaking of which, I am.
Can we?
Yeah, speaking of which, I am playing Colgate and it's.
Oh God! Could you please knock off the diabetes? Ow!
Oh,
It
hey,
hurts.
I can go worse, much worse.
Let's not.
You can't give this
I
motherfucker
beg the
diabetes.
Luna Celestia.
Try
I beg
me.
the Luna Celestia Chrysalis, don't do it.
Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, really? I like... What?
I'm Twixie. More peanut butter crackers?
Stop it!
Wow. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am Shadow. You apparently must have the biggest balls around here.
Oh yes, I do.
Motherfucker.
You just gave 3 of the 4 guys here diabetes.
No. Fuck it.
Ma'am! Medic!
Medic! I medic!
Tell my wife I love her. Wait, I don't have a
Somebody
wife.
tell that brown Pegasus that I love her.
You okay, Shadow?
What do you think?
Know how much you love Trixie?
Ah, you cold-hearted bitch! Oh.
Why, thank you. I am a bitch.
But you are friendly. You are friendly, cold-hearted bitch.
Yes, I am.
Can we go
Good luck
on?
in trying to get me.
Oh, thank God she can't do Applejack.
Can we go on?
Really want to try it?
What?
Hang on. Yeah, I'm Shadow. You want to repeat that for him?
I'm Applejack. More apple Fredo?
People, this is turning to diabetes hour.
We might want to edit this out.
Please stop! Please stop! I can't! Please stop or I can't continue!
I meant grown Applejack, for Christ's sake, not the freaking baby. Oh, God in heaven. Celestial Luna Chrysalis in heaven, help me. King Summer, where are you, my liege?
Gonzo, you have to put this moment on YouTube. I swear to God.
Just go! Just go before I can.
Successful. All 4 guys, I just phoned you with diabetes. I feel so accomplished.
Anyways, maybe we should get back to the fan.
Please, please! For the love of God, please!
Oh, please.
Stepped out of the bathroom, ready to take on a new day.
Oh, Spike?
She called out, stepping out of the bedroom and into her study, wondering how the insulation had gone while she was asleep.
Spike, how'd everything go?
The purple unicorn stopped dead in her tracks.
Uh-oh.
She had expected to find Spike sleeping on the couch at most, but what she did not expect was to find her faithful assistant slumped over her desk, his eyes bloodshot and drool pouring out of his mouth in a steady stream.
What?
Sighing, Twilight trotted forward and waved a hoof in front of her assistant's face. No response. Baby Dragon was out like a light.
This calls for desperate measures.
Twilight, do your thing.
Spike! Rarity's calling for you. She needs your help to find her dig for jewels again!
Find it!
Spike suddenly shot up in his seat, ramrod straight, his eyes still half shut from the lack of sleep. That didn't discourage him any, however. In fact, in spite of it, he immediately clambered out of his chair in a near-drunken flurry of movement, slurring and staggering his way out of the room. Hoisting a claw overhead in an overly dramatic fashion, Spike gave a loud cry and attempted to charge forward. Hold on, Rarity! I'm coming! No! Oh, no, son of a bitch!
Did you hit something?
He fell.
Probably assuming he hit something or fell.
And just like that, the baby dragon fell flat on his face as sleep finally took him, a gentle snore echoing from his lips.
Still the same old Spike.
Twilight chuckled as she nudged Spike onto her back before depositing him on the nearby couch, nuzzling the baby dragon affectionately.
Sleep tight, Spike. Thanks for helping me out.
Turning back to the sea behind her, Twilight hoped all had gone well, if not it meant another day agonizing over this infernal contraption. Luckily for her, the game had installed itself, whatever that meant, successfully. The screen now flashed a message saying that Tiberium Wars was ready to play.
All right. now to see who to invite of our testing session first.
Twilight began mulling to herself, pondering her decisions. Rarity and Fluttershy were the first to come to mind, seeing that they had missed yesterday's testing session, and they had at least some form of catching up to do. Applejack and Rainbow Dash would probably still be a little apprehensive after the plethora of blood and gore that was Gears of War, but they would probably be willing to come over once Rarity and Fluttershy gave them the heads up that Tiberium Wars was A-OK. As for Pinkie Pie... ...
No. ...
Dun, dun.
Twilight winced at the memories of the prank that night before, and decided to inform the Pink Earth Pony only after she had asked certain for a fact this game wouldn't be giving her any more nightmares.
But before any of that, it's about time I put on some tea.
Time for tea!
Tea time!
Oh, the kettle's boiling. It's time for tea.
No. Ha, the kettle's at full boil. It's time for tea.
Anyway.
Supposed to do it now before the Atlanteans invade.
Tea is a science.
Feisty.
Who said that?
Did somebody say feisty?
Son of a bitch!
And Derby Gun, who said that?
As the purple-maned unicorn slowly sipped on Zikora's exquisite blend of foreign herbs and tea leaves, a knock on the door told her that her invitations had been answered. Casting an elementary open spell, Twilight gave the front door a gentle outward push to reveal both Rarity and Fluttershy standing in the doorway.
Twilight, darling, terribly sorry you couldn't make it to the previous session. One with the Fashion Expo and all. That's quite all right, Rarity. I'm just glad you could be here to help me out this time.
But of course, Twilight. What are friends for?
Let me stop you right now.
What?
I am Shadow can't do a Fluttershy voice.
Oh,
But of course, Twilight. What are friends for?
Oh, I'm hiring her!
I regret asking.
Me too. I wish you had not asked.
love you, boys.
Not
I'm
really.
hiring her! I'm hiring her if I have to do Murder Shy redub, I'm hiring her!
Oh,
Gonzo, hire me, please!
I am!
I am the Pumpkin King!
Nightmare Before Christmas joke.
Yeah.
Or,
But Gonzo, I could be Murder Shy.
Nobody? Okay. Nobody tell my girlfriend Tina I said this.
What?
I am Shadow. I want you to have my babies.
Back up, bitch!
Look, Keiro, get in line, because you're not the first.
Oh, shit.
Anyways, laughing, Lavender Mare guided her friends over to where she had installed the PC, and was pleased to find Tiberium Wars was already up and running, the main menu awaiting her selection amidst a series of low baritone notes that played a haunting, melancholic melody.
Tiberium Wars?
That opening menu theme, son.
Oh dear, Twilight, this wouldn't happen to be anything like that horrible Gears of War game that you received that day before, did you? I heard such terrible stories from Rainbow Dash. Oh, not at all, Rarity. In fact, I've taken a good long look at the box art and the manual, and I assure you, this game is 100% free of blood and gore.
Twilight proudly declared, settling herself into the seat at her desk and facing the screen.
In fact, from what I've seen from the manual, it seems to be like playing this a lot more like a very elaborate game of chess, with a lot more types of pieces that you could shake it.
Wait, hold on. Did she just really compare Command and Conquer to chess?
Yes.
Yeah, she did. The world is over as we know it.
With a lot more types of pieces that you could shake a stick at. Chess? Oh heavens, Twilight, why didn't you say so sooner? I'm glad that whoever made this game had some sense to develop that suits my more culture-refined tastes.
Really, Rarity?
Cultured it.
Cultured.
Chess? Cultured?
Twilight smiled at her friend's reply. She expected Rarity's apprehension, given that the upper-class fashionista was loath to anything that was otherwise graphically offensive in nature. Thankfully, nothing a little quick thinking and a few elaborate metaphors here and there couldn't otherwise fix, despite being a little underhanded.
Well, what in the question are you waiting for, Twilight? Go on, get this game started.
With a rather forceful nudge from her right flank,
What bump?
Rarity sent Twilight spiraling right back into her desk chair. Giving her head a quick shake to right herself, Twilight moved the computer's mouse around to set the cursor on the campaign option on the menu. Almost immediately, a side menu appeared, prompting her to choose between two options, the EDI campaign or the NOD campaign. The purple unicorn had already read through the manual before her two friends had arrived. From the brief summary she had read on the backstory of the game's world, it was apparent that EDI were the good guys, while Nod were the bad guys. She doubted the in-game world was quite as simple as that, but she'd have to actually play the game to otherwise find out. She didn't pause much before immediately selecting the EDI campaign. Soon after making her choice, the screen abruptly went dark before a silver icon of a Pegasus, swooping downwards with outstretched forehooves, appeared before her. Once that came into focus, a silver, almost chromatic ring emblazoned itself around the Pegasus, forming an emblem of sorts that began to slowly rotate, revealing a stunningly detailed 3D model, complete with the finest of touches. If I may just do the little thing here. Yeah.
Philadelphia uplink successful. Welcome back, Commander.
Oh,
Nice! I'll shout out to my boys to continue!
After sitting through cutscene over cutscene over cutscene, discussing the war between the EDI and the Nod, the rumors of Nod being on the rise again, plus a few other things, minor things she didn't quite catch, Twilight was thrown headfirst into her first mission in the derelict war zone of the North Coltalina Badlands.
North Coltalina.
Doom, you still there?
I assume it's North Carolina.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm dead.
Anyway, go ahead.
Her instructions to reactivate the nearby abandoned EDI outpost and investigate Nod activity in the region. At first, the screen she was looking at displayed nothing but a desolate landscape blank of all life, save for a bird's-eye view of a deserted road and several half-destroyed buildings. As she looked around awkwardly, trying to figure out what she was supposed to do, a steady, reassuring voice boomed from the speakers, identifying herself as the training officer. Greetings, Commander Sparkle. This is EDI Battle Command, here to get you up to speed with some of the ground operations on this mission. Twilight blushed a little. Somehow being called Commander was quite flattering for the otherwise reserved unicorn. Okay, so this obviously takes place long before Magical Mystery Cure, then.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. EDI?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shh. We'll bang, okay?
We bang, okay?
As she watched, two flying contraptions dragged along by Pegasi pilots flew on screen, coming to a stop at the center of her view before slowly descending to a steady landing, disgorging from their metallic bellies two groups of uniformed ponies carrying rifles.
Establishing video uplink.
The robotic voice from the earlier introductory cutscene suddenly spoke, and a video transmission flared to life in the upper right corner of Twilight's screen, displaying one of the mayors that had participated in the briefing earlier. Commander, we need you to locate the old EDI outpost and investigate. Hey, guys!
Oh, son of a bitch!
Pinkie Pie!
Yes.
Fuck.
Not the nightmare. It's not the nightmares again.
Do it, Pinkie Pie!
I'm
Do
going-
it!
Okay.
Hey, guys!
God damn it!
Get her out of here! Get her out of here! I don't want another Pinky nightmare!
Guys.
Enough. That didn't induce
Gonzo?
much diabetes for me.
okay.
Is it?
Gonzo,
It's okay.
you brought me into this. You brought me into this. You're not
He,
gonna-
no. TheInvertedShadow brought you into this.
Yeah. You
Guys.
you boys brought me into this.
Hey, I didn't bring you into shit.
You're not gonna get rid of me that easily, boys.
Not really.
I'm
talking about-
I'm the only guy here who did not have a diabetes attack when she did the Pinky voice.
I was wanting.
So tell me, what's your favorite character?
Pinkie Pie, what?
The one who said doesn't have diabetes. Who's your favorite character?
Joey?
I only. That's Prince
Applejack. Applejack.
Princess Luna is Joey's favorite.
Yeah.
Princess Luna, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see. Aha! The fun has been doubled!
Close enough. Oh well. I was talking mainly about Pinkie Pie. I don't want to deal with another repeat of the ending of that chapter.
Pinkie Pie's shrill cry came as she burst through the door to Twilight's study with a slightly winded Rainbow Dash and Applejack in tow.
Aw, the hey! You guys started without us?
Rainbow Dash put on a look of mock hurt as she quickly trotted forward, coming up behind Twilight and jamming her head over the unicorn's shoulder of the screen.
Ooh, Celestia sent you something new? Why didn't you tell us?
I wonder why.
Checking whether it was blood-free. Yeah, that's it, blood-free. With all that little incident with Gears of War and everything.
Thankfully, Rainbow Dash was never a pony that took a lot of convincing to win over. Despite Twilight's rather plastic smile and shifty eyes, Dash merely gave her a quick shrug of the shoulders and proceeded to glue her eyes to the screen.
Ooh, what's this one about? What's this one about?
She rattled, clearly excited at the prospect of a new game. What, did you turn into Pinkie Pie for a second there?
Huh? Yep.
Shads, maybe you should leave all the voices for IMS.
Anyways.
Huh?
Well,
Ooh, who are those little guys? What are they on my side? What do I do with them?
Rainbow Dash! You need to give some respect to personal space. Now, as I was saying, this is a real-time strategy game, courtesy of the Carolina University of Computer Science. It's a very important job, and we must...
Yeah. Just hand me the manual over there, and we can get down to some good old-fashioned flank kicking.
That's Rainbow Dash.
Who else but Rainbow Dash?
She's
Who else?
dashy.
Wait.
She's
Who else
dashy.
but Rainbow Dash?
She's dashy. 20% cooler.
Giggity goop.
Yes!
Oh, kill yourself for that one.
Go ahead.
I prefer the Woody the Woodpecker version.
Anyways,
Hey.
Twilight couldn't help but sigh. At least she was starting to learn how to read the manual.
I can read!
Oh, didn't we already establish that in, what was it, Read 'em and Weep, was it?
she can read!
I can read! Da, 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 da.
Now I wonder if she can read the signs of pre-homosexuality.
At Rainbow Dash's persistent pestering, Twilight had finally decided to let her take the reins for a match, but on the condition she not mar her campaign progress with her antics.
I'm saving my campaign progress to write the report to Princess Celestia, Rainbow. I'm sorry, but I won't let your antics mess up the contents of my section of the report. Here.
Did somebody say antics? Flag a line! Yes.
Here, the manual indicated a one-time scenario battle called Skirmish Mode. You can have one round on that one.
Oh, sweet! Thanks, Twilight!
Upon this, Rainbow Dash practically shoved Twilight out of the way and placed herself in her seat, jamming her hoof on the mouse button several times to select the skirmish option.
Rainbow, I do believe you only had to press the button once.
Nah, everybody knows the more you press a button, the faster it works. Didn't you go to elementary Philly school, Rarity?
Button masher.
Yeah.
I love that. Beat that shit up. It'll work.
Looking, every fiber of Rarity's being screamed at her to retort, but every time she opened her mouth to say something, she found herself immediately closing it before having the chance to even say anything. Somehow she got the feeling that the Rainbow Mane Pegasus didn't quite subscribe to what most ponies called common sense. Adoy!
Or toot.
Hello, Hello, class. Welcome to Common Sense 101. Let us begin. Up. Down.
And you fail.
Left. Right. Hot. Cold. Take a shower.
And you failed.
Alright, let's continue.
Yes. Looking around the various bars and options that were present, and having no patience for any of the different options she was presented with the skirmish menu, Rainbow Dash simply set everything to random. Oh, jeez. An action to which Twilight looked at her with very shocked eyes.
Oh, you gotta love that. You gotta love that.
Rainbow,
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this moment to quote the intro theme of QZW. Everyone's gonna die.
Rainbow, you do realize that you just set the AI's difficulty to random as well, right? You could get saddled with the hardest kind of pony for all you know.
Twilight warned, trying to spare her friend another bout of pent-up rage, but Rainbow Dash would have none of it.
Who cares? That just means when I kick its flank, it'll go down so hard it'll be last tasting dirt for weeks.
The Cyan Pegasus proclaimed proudly as she hit the start button, and eagerly awaited to see who she would be up against. The confident look on her face lit up so fast Twilight could swear it literally melted. Oh, Joe, you're gonna love this. She got saddled with Unfair Advantage, Nod Brutal Steamroller, and EDI Brutal Steamroller.
Oh dear.
It's like
there is a three. That's
it's
like
like
more
every
worse than
game.
Nightmare.
It's
Yeah.
like
Oh, generally.
hold on. It's like every game that is in every chapter of this fanfic is Joey has already played.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah. Anyways, as the screen flashed those words in front of the Cyan Pegasus, Applejack rolled over in a fit of rapturous laughter. The name sounded threatening enough that the Orange Mare didn't even have to read the manual to realize that Rainbow Dash had been saddled with one of the hardest possible difficulties of the game. Wow! I can't imagine a worse selection for your first match, Rainbow. You're a rad buck, sister, that you are. Whew.
Screwed.
Levels
Forever.
fucked for that.
Well, to quote Yoshimitsu from Soul Calibur, overconfidence is the greatest enemy.
Cha! Repent!
Hey, Yoshimitsu. I had enough.
So what?
Rainbow Dash quickly tried to salvage what was left of her bravado before she lost all face in front of her friends.
Steamroller Schmeamroller. That thing sounds slow as heck. When you're as fast as I am, nothing even comes close.
Yeah, this is definitely the season 1 Rainbow. This is definitely the season 1 Rainbow Dash.
Mmm.
Or let's call it the double Rainbow Dash.
Let's not go into that.
Cocky.
Yeah.
Cocky
Anyways.
little bitch.
Thanks, I am one.
Anyways,
Well, if you say so, Rainbow.
quipped Twilight, trying not to point out what had happened the last time Rainbow Dash's bravado sent her spiraling into loss after loss at the hands of savage alien warriors.
Woo! Look, guys, it's starting! It's starting!
Yelled Pinkie Pie as she bounded up and down on the spot, her hoof pointing ecstatically at the screen. As the map came into view, Dash was presented with a bird's-eye view of a rolling green field marked on two ends by shimmering blue crystals protruding out of a fissure in the earth. Moving her mouse over the purple hive-like structure in the middle of her point of view... excuse me. Dash gave it a quick click as it came to life with a pulse of violet lighting a low, throbbing hum. Screen drone platform, huh? Muttered the Cyan Pegasus, giving the screen a rather inquisitive look before breaking into one of her usual ear-to-ear grins and just screamed, overconfidence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
That's what I said for Yoshimitsu.
Time to kick this old platform into overdrive! Almost every pony assembled immediately took to plastering their face with a well-placed hoof. They didn't think Rainbow Dash would even try saying something that corny.
Oh, dear.
No, trust me.
Shift into turbo.
Nice Power Rangers Turbo reference.
Yeah.
Immediately
I was trying to
selecting
think
the
of the
icon
Operation
for the reactor,
Hold on.
Dash...
No, hold on. I was trying to think of the Power Rangers Operation Overdrive theme, but I couldn't remember it. Okay, continue.
It was Turbo. Yeah.
Dash greatly set about constructing her base. Following up with an extractor and foundry, Dash rubbed her hooves together in gleeful anticipation of her impending, quote-unquote, greatness.
More like our own doom.
Yeah.
Doom.
The legendary Rainbow Dash Orton.
Go ahead, Shadow.
Anyways, with a portal for infantry... Oh, excuse me.
The Cyan Pegasus was quick.
Cyan Pegasus was quick to set up all the basics. Her reading of the manual, and along with the helpful hints that appeared over each item in the production tabs, helped her find her bearings easily, and soon enough, she had at least one of each basic structure up and running. With a portal for infantry, a nerve center for upgrading her units, a warp sphere to produce vehicles, and a gravity stabilizer for her air force, her base was soon taking shape.
Oh, at least she didn't go.
This sounds strangely a lot like Supreme Commander 2.
Rainbow Dash muttered as she found herself drawn to the newest section of the production tab that had appeared the moment she threw down the gravity stabilizer. The icon on the tab displayed what appeared to be a streamlined, vaguely oval chariot in flight. She just found the aircraft production tab. Oh boy.
This could go so well.
There goes
Air,
the
land,
version.
experimentals.
Storm Riders? Rainbow Dash read the name and description of the screen, and she immediately began rapidly clicking on its icon fervently, attempting to pump out as many of the fast attack aircraft as fast as possible.
Oh yeah! The faster it is, the cooler it is.
Not typically.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
games like that, the faster they are, the weaker their health and defenses are. They're mostly meant for a rush.
Pretty much.
I know those
Bump
kind
rush
of games.
the target.
Yeah, you've ever heard of a Zerg Rush? That's it.
Much to her annoyance, she soon found that she could only build at most 4 Storm Riders for every gravity stabilizer she had on the map.
Oh, come on! Can't I build more of these things?
The Rainbow Main Pegasus moaned to herself in disappointment before an idea occurred to her just seconds later. Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
great.
What
Here
idea
comes
is
the idea.
it?
Make more gravity stabilizers.
Yes, about a minute later, she had thrown another 4 gravity stabilizers down right next to her first, and she was literally hammering away at the Storm Rider production tab. After a solid 15 minutes of building nothing but gravity stabilizers, Rainbow Dash had exhausted the majority of her resources on building nothing but Storm Rider after Storm Rider. At the very least, she had assembled a rather sizable amount of them.
Yeah, she's fucked herself.
Finally done! That's 32, count 'em, 32 Storm Riders. No pony's getting past this.
Rainbow,
yeah.
you haven't actually fought anyone yet.
Anti-air ground forces.
Rainbow, you haven't actually fought anyone yet. Don't you think it'd be more prudent for you to...
Whatever. I'm really just too scared to come anywhere near these babies.
Your funeral.
Main pack assistant or usual.
This just in,
Rainbow Dash
doesn't know the meaning of the word prude.
Rainbow Dash, your funeral.
Almost as if in response to her statement, a robotic voice delivered a message, enemy unit sighted. Perfect! Rainbow Dash was practically rubbing her hooves together in glee, and she quickly selected all of her Storm Riders before commanding them to attack the small force of rifle-bearing ponies that appeared on the edge of her map. As her Storm Riders bore down on the diminutive squad, they made quick work of the ponies by unloading a barrage of pale purple lasers that tore through their formation in the blink of an eye, sending them falling to the ground in droves.
Not really smart in my opinion.
Dash?
Oh yeah! That's what you get for messing with the fastest flyer in all of Equestria. Steamroller my flank, ha!
Wait for it.
Wait.
Enemy unit sighted. Glancing back at her screen, Rainbow Dash saw that her base was now coming under assault from a much larger drive fighting force. Granted, it was still small, but this time they were far more well-equipped. Pony-driven vehicles called Predator tanks and 4 Pegasi-flown chariots called Orcas took up support formations behind a massive contraption manned by no less than 4 full-grown stallions.
Wow.
Sporting 2 massive forward guns and armor that looked nigh impregnable, Dash couldn't help but wonder if she could actually face down this mammoth tank.
Damn.
Nope.
Joey, your insight?
Oh, on what?
A mammoth tank?
Generally, if you have heavy support, those things aren't exactly hard. But forewarning, if you have smaller divisions, prepare for those things to be wiped out.
So
depending if you have them.
So
in
Dash's
games-
case, she's screwed.
Yeah, she's fucked. She's got air superiority. Those things are more meant for destroying air and ground. But if you have heavier units, you can take them out quicker.
The Scion
Forewarning.
Pegasus, what?
She's fucked.
Yeah. The Scion Pegasus shook her head in fierce defiance, refusing to be intimidated by the large vehicle, no matter how powerful it looked.
You're going down, chump!
Rainbow Dash exclaimed defiantly as she ordered all her Storm Riders to converge upon the mammoth tank, and attacked all at once. Following her orders to the letter, her 32 Storm Riders immediately swarmed the massive enemy vehicle, their plasma weapons blazing bolts of light. Confident that their enemy would soon wither and collapse under such an intense assault, Rainbow Dash began to sit back and relax. Until she saw just how little damage her Storm Riders were actually causing the tank, their attacks only serving to slowly chip away at its massive health bar.
Yep. Fucked from the get-go.
Yep.
Whoa, holy, that thing is tough!
The Pegasus thought to herself in a mild panic, and she found herself beginning to worry silently as the mammoth tank began to shoot down 3 of her Storm Riders before being destroyed itself. If any more of those showed up, she wasn't sure how long her Storm Riders would last. Sadly, her relief at the tank's destruction, it actually went down. It was only short-lived, as she realized that she had neglected to defend her base while at it, and one of her gravity stabilizers was dangerously close to being destroyed. The group of Predator tanks and Orcas pummeling it with explosive shells and missiles.
Oh, come on! The haze this!
Rainbow Dash groaned in exasperation, and she quickly ordered her Storm Riders to double back, but she wasn't fast enough. Just as her Air Force had reached her base again, the first gravity stabilizer fell. Well,
Here's the thing right there. Storm Riders, those are supposed to be like the powerful things. I've never, like I said, I've never played Command & Conquer, but it does come pretty close to Supreme Commander 2, and I do have experience in that area. And those are actually equivalents are called experimentals. And for the 3 factions, they have different names, but you have your air experimentals, land experimentals, and sea experimentals. But no matter what experimental you have, you always have to have engineers on those things healing them. You have to have support on those things as well as surrounding the base, putting up anti-air and ground defenses, because otherwise your base is pretty much just a sitting duck waiting to get their ass kicked.
Method insight with the Keiro Starr.
Typically not inside stats. It's normally that with any real-time strategy games. You will always be given a special kind of unit, no matter what division you are.
Anyways, she swore even as her Storm Riders laid waste to the group of tanks and orcas. She was still a little peeved by the fact that she was going to have to rebuild that structure all over again.
Well, at least it couldn't get any worse, and she jinxed it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get worse now.
Enemy unit sighted.
What now? What?
Dash's pupils shrank faster than Twilight or any of her friends had ever seen them. Up ahead, where the previous EDI attack force had come from, another, much more menacing one had appeared as well. This time comprised of no less than 6 mammoth tanks.
It got worse.
Whoa, Nelly, Applejack commented, wide-eyed at the opposition Rainbow Dash was facing and trying to stifle a smug grin. Yup, sister, you're right bucked.
Huh.
What are you talking about, Applejack?
Countered Rainbow Dash, trying as hard as she could to prevent any pony from seeing the actual sense of dread she was feeling.
I can deal with these chumps in no time.
Our base is under attack! Rainbow Dash turned to face the screen incredulous.
Under attack? What do you mean my base is under attack?
You were saying?
Like it says, under attack.
Look of bravado that adorned her features only a few moments ago was slid off her face faster than butter on a frying pan. With a silent thump, no fewer than 20 armored chariots appeared out of thin air. Driven by Pegasi adorned in ominous black armor, the chariots wasted no time in encircling Dash's base like a ravenous swarm of obsidian vultures, ready to swoop in for the kill. Maintaining a brief formation over her stabilizers, the chariot proceeded to lay waste to almost the entirety of her base by dropping searing balls of energy that detonated into fiery conflagrations, consuming her structures and reducing them to smoking piles of ash that collapsed in on themselves.
What? What in the heck just happened?
Rainbow Dash muttered weakly as she watched no less than all of her gravity stabilizers collapse, while her reactors, portals, and warp spheres had been all but incinerated by the assault by those invisible chariots. Stunned from her massive losses, Dash unwittingly left her Storm Riders without direction, the remaining few immediately converging upon the column of mammoth tanks, still advancing upon the smoldering wreckage of her base. As the normally overconfident Pegasus watched bleakly, her Storm Riders were slowly blown out of the sky one by one, as the mammoth tanks retaliated against their aerial assault with a barrage of missiles from their side pods. By the time the slow war of attrition was over, the mammoth advance had been stopped in its tracks, but at dear cost. Rainbow Dash's Storm Riders had been all but decimated, and she was left with only 3 badly damaged ones still hovering weakly about, their A-frames blackened and charred.
Well,
she chuckled weakly as she ordered her Storm Riders back to her base, thanking Celestia that her drone platform was still intact and beginning to build another gravity stabilizer to at least repair her damaged Storm Riders and build new ones.
I guess it wasn't too bad. Now to just get my forces back.
Insufficient funds.
Oh God, I know what that's like.
You made your bed, Dash.
Let me give you another minute of insight here. First off, the chariots that came out of nowhere, there's only one way. I don't know what they're called in Command & Conquer. In Supreme Commander 2, we call those motherfuckers space temples. And what they do is that they can actually teleport units that are made at your base to any point on the map. So that's what those are. Now, insufficient funds. I can honestly say this is obviously because the gravitational whatever is that's pretty much equivalent in Supreme Commander 2. You have your energy and you have your mass, and the mass is both of these are important for building structures like research centers and factories and whatnot to make ships. And the thing is, right here, since all of them were destroyed, and she had been spamming right here, making those experimental ships, pretty much right there, all funds in terms of mass and energy were wasted, very much. And since the regeneration rate is very slow when you do not have the mass and energy factories built, then you're pretty much fucked because that takes because then the regeneration queue takes fucking forever to get up to the proper amount to build something. So with those structures gone, fucked as hell.
Well, as Twilight said, your funeral, Dash.
You're dead. Boing boing.
Dash's jaw immediately went slack from horror, her cursor flitting about her base in a panic. Where was her extractor? Where had all her money disappeared to? The smoldering pile of ruins that burned right next to her base's Tiberium field was all she needed to see. In one fell swoop, the enemy had crippled both her base's production, strength, and economy. There was practically no way she could possibly recover from this. Almost as though to add insult to injury, enemy units sighted.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Hey, Feathers, what in Celestia's name is it this...
Before the already exasperated Pegasus could even finish cursing, a frantic, titanic formation of enormous metallic walkers appeared from literal thin air, cloaking with the same thum that signaled the end of her base only moments earlier. Shaped like unicorns, but standing hundreds of feet higher than any possibly could, the monolithic walkers surrounded the smoldering remnants of her base in a silent formation. Almost as if they were bowing their heads in a sign of mock reverence, the gigantic walkers lowered their horns towards the charred drone platform, pulsing red energy running up and down the length of the massive protrusion. Time. As the final word escaped Dash's lips, a cascade of crimson energy beams then rained down upon their drone platform and perforated it from stem to stem, tearing entire chunks of metal and machinery from the structure as what was once the heart of her base was crashing down in a flaming pile of charred, worthless scrap. Mission failed. The robotic voice from her speakers proclaimed Dash's loss without so much as a trace of emotion, prompting Twilight to nudge her friend, who was apparently still staring at the charred, half-destroyed emblem of her faction that had begun spinning on the screen, dumbstruck by her loss.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's happened to me many a time in Supreme Commander 2, and no matter what, it feels like shit.
I lost.
Rainbow Dash whispered hoarsely, and Applejack placed a hoof on her friend's shoulder.
It's alright, Sugar Q. Can't win them all. I hate losing,
muttered the cyan Pegasus, apparently still sore over her defeat. To be fair, Sugar Cube, you did get saddled with the hardest difficulty on your first try. Come on, let's have another opponent give it a try. Grudgingly, Dash forced herself out of Twilight's desk seat, and the game reverted to the scrubber select screen.
Oh, well, Rainbow Darling, you tried your best, but this is a ladies' game.
Oh,
this is a ladies'
Good night, everybody!
There's the rage quit. I am Shadow rage quit.
I'm done.
Oh.
A ladies' game.
And my hand is burning from all the slapping I did on my desk.
Still a little sore from her loss, Rainbow Dash couldn't help but let her eye twitch a little in annoyance.
And that is why I shall be the one to take the helm from here.
Soon, Rarity found herself in her friend's place, this time on the same map, but against two opponents the game identified as normal nod balance and normal EDI balance. Rarity had personally opted to play as the Scrin. Unlike Dash, who had a penchant for running blind into her own follies, Rarity prized flair and beauty over all things. To her, the graceful contours, abstract architecture, and soft bioluminescent glow present in every screen structure left her utterly captivated.
Well.
The first half of her game was spent pretty much the same way as Rainbow Dash's, with a few key differences, of course. Thankfully enough, Rarity didn't spend every single bit of Tiberium she mined on building airfield after airfield like her cyan friend had so foolishly done. Indeed, thanks to years of experience at the seamstress's art, Rarity had learned a great many things, such as the importance of precision and the value of speed. But in all her years, no lesson learned was ever as important as her one cardinal rule: attention to detail. Within minutes, not only had Rarity gotten a fully functional tech center up and running, her base came together in immaculate precision that made Rainbow Dash's bone base look like a messy pile of haystacks.
Ooh, that hurts.
Damn.
Sorry, girl, but you just got wrecked.
Excuse me while I give you some icy hot for that burn!
Portals were lined up in neat rows alongside gravity stabilizers positioned for perfect structural symphony with the drone platform. Her sizable collection of refineries were expertly positioned for maximum aesthetic effectiveness as they perfectly mirrored her warp spheres, nerve center, and technology center. in what could be described as her signature final touch. Rarity had even positioned numerous storm columns around her base in perfect symmetrical arrangement. Each one was so neatly placed that it was like watching Rarity's soul dress made out of ominous alien lighting.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Muttered Rarity, utterly satisfied at her progress so far. Clicking on her warp sphere, she quickly found the button responsible for Annihilator tripods, and within moments had 3 queued up for production. Enemy units sighted.
How rude!
The white mare scrolled up to where the warning had come from, and found another meager force of militia ponies and a couple of their rocket squads heading towards her base.
Ooh, I do say, this looks too easy.
More focused on how her base was coming together, Rarity neglected to pay close attention to anything else, much like the time she had unwittingly let Sweetie Belle make off with her gold silk.
Place your bets, boys. Win or lose.
Lose.
From out of the corner of her eye, Rarity suddenly caught the sight of several squads of jumpsuit-clad ponies rushing towards her towers. She had no idea why the enemy would willingly throw ponies at her, so she gave a simple shrug of her shoulders and started trying to figure out where her signal transmitter would go. It would certainly look good behind her drone platform. Our base is under attack!
Yeah, you're taking too damn long, Rarity. I think you might want to attack now.
Yeah, now. This is no ladies' game.
As the alarm blared its way into her ears, Rarity frantically searched her base for the cause of whatever would have the gall to even think of besmirching her masterpiece. As she found the cause of her woes, her eyes widened and her pupils shrunk in shock. Throwing themselves at her frontal storm column, those ponies were actually blowing both themselves and her storm column into next week.
Oh, no.
Kamikazes. Great.
Units.
The once gleaming spotless coating that adorned the column was beginning to show signs of extreme battle damage as it started to char, blacken, and rust in several places. As it began to fall apart in several places, fire streaking across the length of the structure, Rarity was beginning to show signs of genuine worry as sweat proud off her brow. Unable to withstand the onslaught, the frontal storm column exploded into a fiery conflagration of loose bits and pieces, as it could take no more damage from both the fanatics. And just like that, Rarity's star crown jewel ceased to be.
Oh,
that's rich, Rarity. All that work for nothing but a big flaming ball of junk. Oh, that's just too good.
This is what you're calling your engineers to actually refine the metal from the scrap that just occurred, and then that actually converts to your mass and energy, and that actually lets you build more shit.
Boys.
Seriously?
Yes.
At that moment, something inside Rarity snapped, her eyes narrowing to thin slits of pure anger. There was no crying. Whoa! Shield me, Gonzo!
Wait.
It's for epicness, trust me.
There was no crying worse on the massacre of art and beauty. No punishment great enough for defilers of magnificence. The opponents were dead already, just didn't know it.
Oh, it is on!
Well, I think we should all hide.
Yes. Diverting her attention back to her gravity stabilizers, Rarity jammed her mouse... Sorry, you got me nervous now. Rarity jammed her mouse button down on the production tab for the biggest, most expensive unit she could find. The Planetary Assault Carrier.
Oh, fuck!
What's that?
Does she even have the resources for this shit?
That's like the name says, a planetary... This thing is a fucking destroyer, in my opinion. I've only used it once.
Is it even needed for our last resort?
Kinda, yeah. If you have the resources for it.
Yeah. Hammering away at the tab like a pony possessed, Rarity couldn't care less if she lost every single bit she'd spent harvesting. It would be all worth it teaching these opponents of hers that they had just made the biggest mistake of their virtual lives.
Rarity, I wouldn't!
As the bit count finally clicked 0, Rarity brought every last one of her forces to bear in a mighty column of 32 gigantic starships that tore their way out the front door and right into enemy lines, their streaks of plasma shearing their way through obsidian armor and hardened metal. Decimating virtually everything that lay before them, Rarity's army reduced structure after structure to useless heaps of flaming slag. Every single formation that tried to rally together in defiance of the nigh unstoppable force was crushed brutally under hoof, swarms of fighters making short work of even the hardest units. Holy shit, Rarity.
She went nuts!
She just went like
Mad
Mikasa.
psycho bonkers.
She went like Mikasa on those things.
Ugh. Anyways, the battle was becoming completely one-sided. No sooner had the carriers appeared on the battlefield than the tide completely turned in Rarity's favor, entire armies crumbling in utter loss. Now her mighty air force ruled the skies, bearing down on the last vestiges of the NOD and NOD and EDI bases as the Purple Mane Unicorn's virtual opponents stood defenseless before Rarity's anger, personified in her merciless aerial armada.
Jesus.
Told you.
Damn, Rarity.
Needless to say, it was over in an instant. Detaching from Rarity's carriers, swarms of smaller fighters came together in a swarm not unlike the Parasprite plague that tore through Ponyville only a while ago, raining hellfire from the skies above. So just off that, I'm going to assume this takes place a little after century.
That's like only a while ago.
I
don't remember it raining hellfire during the Parasprite invasion.
Sorry, that was me. I was taking a massive
After
whiz.
structure fell to the ground under useless slag heaps as bright purple bolts of energy rained from the skies, victory was now but a simple matter of time. Soon enough, the last EDI structure finally buckled under the Unicorn's unrelenting punishment. As it crashed to the ground in a massive gout of fire, the Insectoid screen logo flashed across the center of the screen with, "You are victorious."
Now,
Told ya.
let me improvise the part. You hear that, everyone? I am Best Pony!
Ah!
Gee.
She win.
Damn, I thought she would have lost instantly.
Not
I know,
really.
right?
Rarity
Not
crossed her
really.
hooves in a mixture of supremacy and scorn.
If you can predict what your enemy's gonna do, you can normally win.
Pitiful.
She snorted, clearly still incensed at the fools who dared interfere with her works of sheer art. Ugh. Really, Rarity?
Yeah.
While every other pony cheered for Rarity's victory, Rainbow Dash opted to say nothing, preferring instead to look away and mutter something that sounded like it landed somewhere between whatever and Lucky Break.
No, not the next one, no, please, not the next one, no.
Ooh, Rarity! Can I give it a whirl next? I want to try! I want to try!
No!
Pinky, fuck that.
No! Pinky, no! Settle down there, Pinky!
Said Twilight, trying to rein in her overactive friend and praying she wouldn't break anything in the process.
Please, try to break anything.
Yippee!
Oh, no.
Did you really have to, Twilight? Now you're gonna go through a week's worth of nightmares.
You're screwed.
Nightmare difficulty.
Pink Mare whooped in delight as she quickly bumped Rarity off the chair, immediately proceeding to make her selections on the skirmish menu. Choices that were starting to look startlingly familiar to Twilight.
Oh, God, no. Wait, Pinky, no, don't set everything to random.
Before Twilight could even finish her sentence, Pinkie Pie had already hit the start button, and then the screen displayed the words, Pipeline Problems, EDI Easy Gorilla, and EDI Hard Turtle.
Well,
What?
that's not too bad.
Oh, come on! Rainbow Dash yelled in frustration, jabbing a hoof at the screen. That's a load of manure! I get 2 brutal steamrollers, and she gets 1 easy and 1 hard?
That's the whole point of selection. That's the whole point of the selection of being random, my dear. It's based on luck. Well, you are very unlucky. That's all it is.
Oh, that is a
Can we get some aloe vera for that burn?
Hey, Dashy, want some ointment with that burn?
Rainbow Dash muttered something inaudible as she turned away from Rarity, fixing her eyes on the screen as Pinkie Pie's match began.
Oh.
After building
I'm going to assume that what Rainbow Dash said under her breath was, "Fuck you, you snooty bitch."
After building 2 refineries, Pinkie did nothing but pour all her resources into building 5 giant hoofs of Nod to pump out militia ponies, much to the surprise of every pony assembled, even Dash, who had done nothing but build storm riders. Fighters form up! Fighters form up! Fighters form up! Fighters form up! And so on and so on and so forth.
5 minutes later.
5 minutes into the battle, Pinkie's screen was full of nothing but a gray swarm of militia ponies, and her hoofs of Nod were pumping out more by the second.
Pinkie Pie, don't you think you ought to diversify?
Twilight pointed, with a bit of uncertainty in her voice. Patting the Lavender Unicorn on the back, Pinkie gave her a look of utter disbelief, as though what she was doing fell within the realms of common sense.
Common sense with Pinkie Pie.
That's a new one.
That's like a
That's
Tibetan.
comparing it.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me do it.
Okay.
It's like a Tibetan terrorist or an Amish hacker. It doesn't fit.
Yeah. Twilight. Don't you know the more ponies you bring to a party, the bigger your party is?
I'd say Pinky's gonna have her own funeral. What do you say?
Oh, wait.
No.
Wait. Jamming her
Oh,
hoof
she'll have a
down-
funeral after I blow her brains out.
Jamming her hoof down on the mouse button, Pinkie Pie ordered the hoofs of Na to pump out a staggering 60 additional militia pony squads. Each!
60 each?
60 each.
Her battle tactic is ground superiority, mostly of that of just regular squadrons. Technically, you would need to divide that out between the heavy, the light, and the special divisions.
Yeah, I'm actually seeing a diversity in between the different types of ponies. When Rainbow Dash played, she focused on air.
Yeah.
When Rare Unicorn played, she went with both. When Pinkie Pie the Earth Pony went on, she decided Earth Forces.
Yep, that's what I did. Go ahead. Now it's time to...
Anyways, now it's time to bring this party to the EVI!
The Earth Pony whooped as she selected all of the militia pony squads on the map right then and ordered them forward towards the other side of the map at the same time.
Yeah, she got her ass kicked.
It was then that Twilight had the feeling that something was horribly wrong. Rather than the smooth, flowing animations that usually accompany the movements on the screen, everything now moved choppily, jerking around in sudden movements.
So slow!
Pinkie Pie drawled in a clearly bored tone, before shrugging and continuing to order her mind-blowingly massive horde across the battlefield, the sheer numbers of her forces covering the entire point of view. As her hoofs of Na continued to pump out even more militia ponies at a staggering rate, the choppiness of the display simply began to increase, until to the gathered ponies it seemed as though they were watching a slideshow.
Great, Pinkie Pie. Your excessive partying is lagging the game so much. I bet
Wait. Suddenly, oh boy, Twilight's PC started to spark and sputter, black smoke rising out of the vents in greater gouts with every additional militia pony that joined Pinkie Pie's ranks. Yelled Twilight. The pink Earth Pony apparently had not hurt her, as she continued to pump out squad after squad, and Twilight's PC was almost whining in metallic pain by now.
Pinky!
Bellowed the Lavender Unicorn, fearing what might happen if she let Pinkie carry on like this.
Yes?
Punch her in the head!
Yes, Twilight?
Came Pinkie's innocent response, blissfully unaware of the column of billowing smoke rising from the device.
Oh no.
I've never heard of a computer lagging so badly that it actually caught fire.
I know,
It's
right?
not lagging, she's overheating the
Overloading.
processing.
Hastily shoving Pinkie out of the desk seat, Twilight quickly brought up the start menu and frantically muddled around for anything that looked like a stop button. Jamming her hoof down on the quit game function, Twilight immediately aborted the game in case Pinkie's party, quote-unquote, blew up the PC, melted the disk, burned her library to the ground, and caused widespread panic throughout Ponyville.
Twilight the worrywart.
Well,
Relieved
I
she
would
just-
too if my PC was on fire.
Twilight breathed, relieved she just averted what might have been the worst disaster in Ponyville's history, as her PC immediately stopped issuing smoke, and the high-pitched whining issuing from the machine slowly died down.
Aw, you're no fun at all, Twilight. Why'd you have to ruin my party?
because your party was overheating the computer!
Twilight immediately fixed the pink Earth Pony with a gaze that looked like it would cut through solid diamond. Withering under her best friend's stare, Pinkie immediately clamped her hoofs over her mouth. Turning her head, attention back to the smoking device, Twilight breathed a sigh of quiet relief to herself, thinking in the alicorns above that her library was not a smoking ruin. The thing is, Twilight was expecting a working device with a smoking, yet albeit functional display. What she did not expect was a blue screen marked only by a string of words containing technical jargon she could only phrase she understood.
Oh, no.
Only soft windows, a fatal exception flew has occurred. The current application will now be terminated. Press any key to terminate the current application. Please press Control-Delete to restart. You will lose all unsafe data in all applications.
AKA blue screen of death. Way to go, Pinkie. You fucked it up. You fucked up.
Okay, let's recap. She caused a BSOD on a PC, but she did not cause a red ring of death on an Xbox 360. What the fuck?
Well, in the Xbox, she wasn't spawning a whole bunch of players and overheating it.
A deathly silence held over the library.
Twilight? You okay there, Sugar Cube? Twilight, darling, are you alright?
The purple-maned unicorn had reached the end of her tether. She rarely got angry, but sometimes her short fuse tended to get the better of her more virtuous nature.
Girls?
Twilight said it in an only strangled voice, trembling with barely contained rage. Already the edges of her mane were beginning to smoke and spark, and Pinkie Pie was edging cautiously away from her, laughing nervously.
I'd appreciate it, a lot of you, if you left Pinkie Pie and I alone for a moment. Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Equestrian Championship Wrestling. I am, of course, starstruck here with my commentating buddy, the one and only Shadow Russian. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we will bring you one-on-one for the championship. Twilight Sparkle versus Pinkie Pie. One-on-one inside Hell in a Cell.
Whoa, Carol, you have no idea. It was said that the fire that erupted in the Ponyville Library was seen as far as Canterlot that day. The mayor declined to comment on what manner of destructive force could do such a thing.
Dear Princess Celestia, this week my dear friend Pinkie Pie learned the value of self-restraint. Often in a pony's life, they will make several decisions that do sometimes, in part of overzealousness, can sometimes adversely affect those around them. Every pony has shortcomings, but it is in our nature to be the better mare, and seeing past the cloud of anger that sometimes take control of us. Sometimes taking a deep breath and counting to 10 is wiser than taking none at all. P.S. Could I humbly ask for another copy of Mayor's Magic and Mineralogy? I'm still reconstructing the library. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle.
Holy crap!
Pinkie Pie is probably in intensive care unit right now.
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised if she was dead at this point.
I'm surprised her friends made it out alive.
Hey, break my computer. Hey, break my PC more than just like.
And that's chapter 3.
No, break my PC. You'll more than just find out what pain means. You'll be wishing I killed you.
Oh dear.
Oh wow, the next chapter is 3.5.
3.5?
You think we should cover this last one just for tonight?
How is it 3.5? Is it like
why?
1.5 or something?
Hang on, I am Shadow.
Classic, huh?
Gonzo, can we cover this one quick? Because it looks pretty interesting.
How long is it though?
It's actually pretty short compared to the last.
And
we
the
just went
subject, and guys, the subject is
Tetris.
Tetris.
Ding, 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 ding,
I got the
ding,
best
ding,
friendship, the
Smooth
Fine,
the groove,
we'll
take it.
we'll let it go. God damn.
All right.
Ugh.
Last chapter for tonight. Anyways, continuing on with Tetris.
Did you quit it?
Anyways, Twilight.
You do not stop the awesomeness that is Smooth McGroove.
Hey,
You heard
shut
me?
up!
I can hang you up right now.
Easy now, guys. Twilight? Spike called apprehensively. Are you alright? The only answer was a grunt from the other side of the door. Twilight was in no mood to answer. Ugh. Eyes bloodshot, mane mangled, and looking overall like Applejack had last Applebuck season, Twilight had cleaned the library like a pony possessed, moving almost mechanically as she crammed books clumsily into random spots. Spike's attempts at communication during this period had earned him a withering glare, one the baby dragon felt almost actually cut through his scales. The moment the last book was stuffed into the shelf, she stormed past Spike and Owlicious, rounded the stairs, and stormed straight into her room, slamming the door behind her.
Well, someone's officially 3 levels up. PO'd!
Yep. But even a comfortable bed and soft pillow granted Twilight no reprieve. Her attempts to fall asleep had plunged her into a nightmare. In it, she stood frozen while a living wave slowly made its way towards her. A virtual wall of crazed-looking Pinkie Pies crawling towards her at an agonizing pace. Plumes of thick smoke billowing from the chainsaws they, somehow, held in their hooves. Holy crap!
Damn.
She's having a nightmare. Pinky's finally snapped the fucking line. Way to go, Pinky.
Twilight
There's
pulled a
reason why I wanna kill
pillow
you.
over her head, sighing deeply. She couldn't keep this up. She was going insane! Twilight?
Yeah, what else the fuck is new?
Twilight, please come out of there! Spike's voice rang through the door.
Go away.
Spike's voice came again. Twilight, you have to come out! The princess is at the door!
Yeah, very funny. Nice try, Spike.
No! Seriously, Twilight! The princess is here and she wants to talk to you! Spike sounded almost urgent at this point. When did he become such a good liar? But Twilight leaned up over, glaring at the door.
I'm not here right now, Spike. Leave me alone.
A deathly silence fell over the library for a second, and then a new voice.
Well, that's unfortunate. I was looking forward to seeing her, and she's not here right now. Perhaps you ask her to send me a message when she gets back?
Oh, boy.
Oh, shit! Twilight, you better run to that door right now!
Twilight leapt out of bed, hurling across the room the open spell she cast, nearly ripping the door off its hinges. She took a split-second glance around the room, and the bottom dropped out of her stomach.
Princess Celestia!
The White Alicorn watched in mild amusement as her student began babbling, desperately trying to apologize. Sensing her student's distress, she held out a hoof to calm Twilight, soothing her. With her mentor's severe ring presence at hand, Lavender Unicorn gradually fell silent.
I apologize if I caught you at a bad time, Twilight. You seem very stressed right now. Stress? I'm fine. Just need to finish some things in my room. Got caught up in my work, that's all. Twilight Sparkle, I've been around for a long time. I know when Sun Pony's stressed. And when Sun Pony's lying to me.
Ooh, yeah, just let
lying
it...
to the princess is condemned with banishment!
Twilight nodded automatically, trying to fight back the tears springing to her eyes. Aww. So sad. Celestia stepped forward, wiping her student's tears away with a gentle hoof.
It's all right, Twilight. You've done a great job so far. Now, I have a suggestion for you. Anything, Princess?
Celestia looked back at something draped over her back. A brown saddlebag that Twilight just noticed was there. Celestia's horn glowed and the bag opened, a small box extracting itself from its depths.
I have here a game I personally think you'll like. It's a brand new piece from the University of Technological Innovation, and I would like you to test it. However, I suggest you play this game alone. Alone?
She could have done this from the start with all the other fucking games!
Twilight was stunned with all the suggestions she expected the princess to make. Ignoring her friends was not on the top of the list.
But what about your friends? You seem to need a bit of time apart from them right now, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I know I would never stop talking about the magic of friendship. But magic can be physically and mentally draining, am I correct? Yes, friendship and the ability to connect with others is extremely important, but it's still inherently stressful, and every pony needs some solitude every once in a while so they can rejuvenate themselves. That way, they can be a better friend once they had some time alone to relax. Is that right, Princess? Exactly. You're learning as fast as ever, Twilight. So then, take a day or two off and take some time for yourself. If your friends stop by, just tell them that you're busy. They'll understand. Now.
Celestia turned and headed towards the door.
I hate to cut this conversation short, but I have a few things to do on my end. It's a little harder for royalty to ask for a mental health day. I look forward to hearing from you again soon, Twilight. I actually had the privilege to observe the creative process for this game, and I'd love to hear what the finished product is like. But, no rush.
And with that, she was gone.
I imagine it'll be called The Game Pony. Or The
Twilight
Game
stood
Colt.
momentarily flabbergasted by her mentor's personal visit. Most of the time, she had tried to prepare to welcome figures of royalty and near fanatical reverence by millions. Needless to say, the entire experience was a little jarring, to say the least. Snapping out of her reverie, Twilight turned her attention back to the small brown parcel that lay in her hooves. It looked like every other one she received from the princess, but something about it just seemed so subtly different. Slight contours, a smaller frame. This was unlike anything she had ever received before. Gently peeling the wrapping off with her magic, Twilight at first spied a peak of emerald green underneath the paper, and as the rest of the package unfurled, she found herself faced with what looked like a very tiny, simplified version of the console that now rested in her basement.
Game Colt Color?
He called it!
Yep. It's a Game Boy! You know, for ponies!
Twilight couldn't help but let a small bit of intrigue slip into her voice as she read the name off the label adjoining this device's screen. The whole thing suddenly looked simply enough, seeing as the squarish screen only took up half the front side. The lower half was even more sparse, if that was all possible, comprising nothing more than a simplified D-pad that adorned the device's lower left side, flanked by two buttons that simply read A and B, nothing more. In fact, had she not looked, she could have sworn the two minuscule start and select buttons at the bottom of the device were very screens. Some pony might have dropped in the packaging.
Well, this is gonna be good some way. It does come with the princess's recommendation anyway.
Giving the device in her hooves a few quick twirls, Twilight was able to find a power button and a battery holder. Much simpler than that horrible jumble of wires that passed for an entertainment device.
Well, at least I won't have to worry about any more wires.
That was like an indirect reference to the Xbox One.
What about the PC?
Calmly setting both the game cold on her bedside table. Excuse me. Twilight casually levitated the now torn packaging over to the nearest bin. As she dumped the remains of the parcel inside, a rather solid clack made her pause in her hoof steps. Doubling back to the bin, Twilight began sifting through her trash to find the source of the noise. Sifting through loose papers, frayed quills, and what looked like a month-old serving of quiche. Ew. She finally located the source of the noise. Fishing out a small gray box, Twilight gave it a quick dust-off and short glance, reading the label that covered its front side.
Tetris!
Tetris, huh?
The purple unicorn read the title off the label, eyeing it rather critically. The picture that adorned the cartridge looked pretty simple, being simply a bunch of colored blocks in different shapes, but as she rummaged around the remains of the parcel, she saw nothing that even looked remotely like a manual.
Now why would Princess Celestia send me a game without including its manual?
She thought to herself, thoroughly puzzled. Glancing over to the game cold, an idea crossed the purple-maned unicorn's ever-inquisitive mind. Could it possibly be? Levitating the device once over, Twilight looked over to the device once more. As expected, the diminutive gray square looked a perfect match with the back-end slot. With a gentle slide, the gray square slid seamlessly into the game cold, a small, almost imperceptible click echoing as the two became locked as a pair. Flicking the game cold's power switch, she was rewarded with a satisfying ding! Ring! As the words Game Cold Color flashed across the device's diminutive screen in a rainbow of colors.
I'm guessing that's probably the Game Boy.
Seconds after the screen went blank, the title of the game, Tetris, appeared on the screen. Its edges decorated only sparsely by a few simple colored blocks of various shapes, similar to those adorning the picture on the front of the gray square. To call the menu simple would have been a severe overstatement. With the sole option available to her being Start Game, Twilight figured she had nothing to lose and pressed her hoof down on the A button. After the past few titles she had settled in with, Twilight was fairly prepared for a burst of light, some deafening introduction, or perhaps at worst another gory display of the Celestia knows what. The minute her hoof let go of the button, Twilight found herself cringing behind a shaking hoof, expecting nothing less than the worst. Yet much to her surprise, all she got was a simple beep. There were no flashy displays of graphical splendor, no ground-thumping orchestral themes, and certainly no nausea-inducing fountains of gore and blood. All she saw on the screen was a very empty-looking box, and a bunch of words and numbers outside of the box that made absolutely no sense to her. If anything, the simplicity of it all was a very refreshing change, one that the exhausted unicorn welcomed with very open hooves.
Now then, let's see here. Lines? Level? Score? Wait, lines? What lines?
Almost as if on cue, a black square, seemingly composed of 4 smaller hollow white squares, structured to resemble a window pane, appeared at the top of the screen, beginning a slow but steady descent downwards.
What did I do? Is it supposed to do this?
Taken completely off guard, Twilight fumbled with the device in her hooves, trying to figure out what she was supposed to do. In her panic, her hoof accidentally hit the down button on the directional pad, sending the block into a rapid descent towards the bottom of the box, where it remained. Almost immediately, another block appeared at the top of the screen, this time vaguely shaped like an L, descending at the same languid pace its predecessor had. Realizing she might have just made a mistake, the purple unicorn forced herself to calm down, recognizing the need for her to take things slowly and figure out the controls by trial and error. Rushing through things in misguided attempts to do them right like Rainbow Dash wasn't going to help her any.
Oh yeah, they've learned from that trial.
Okay, now, let's see here.
Her eyes narrowed in deep concentration, Twilight poured her considerable intellect into deciphering the, as she called it, music of the blocks. Alright.
Everyone has become movie theater. Sound movie theater now.
Yes. Much to her glee, Twilight found the A button, rotated blocks in a specific clockwise direction. Rotating the L block downwards, it gave a very satisfying beep, as it locked into place as soon as it hit the bottom of the screen, whilst another, similar block appeared at the top of the screen. She was going to like this one. That she was.
It's a banking game, just to let you go. Just to let you know.
Twilight, are you in there?
Fuck off, you piece of shit! Fuck off!
Something tells me that I think, she will also like Professor Layton, too.
The Pink Earth Pony couldn't help but feel a little guilty after the whole Great Fire of Ponyville incident. Holy crap!
There's a title for that shit?
And had taken it upon herself to see how a good 3 days of solitude was treating her.
Twilight, dear, are you feeling any better?
Rarity had, of course, caught news of Pinky's visit through the ever-present gossip grapevine.
Fuck that grapevine.
In Twilight's best interest.
She insisted about Fluttershy and herself come along in Twilight's best interests, which was subtly a really nice way of implying that another pony made disaster would be one too many for Ponyville to afford.
Twilight, are you home?
God damn it!
Come on, guys.
So, Gondo, you still want me for Murder Shy?
I say so.
Yay!
Fluttershy called out quietly, barely audible, but even as he called out for their friend, there was no response. If anything, the silence of the library was starting to seem oppressive. Squeaking nervously, the yellow Pegasus started to back away from the library slowly, but Rarity pressed forward, determined to find out just what their purple-maned friend had been up to these past few days.
Twilight, it's been days now. We hope you're still not upset, dear.
Concern apparent in her unusually mothering tone, Rarity rapped on the purple unicorn's door a very few more times than Worry. When there was no answer to the door, the white unicorn's brow only creased further in consternation, and she knocked several more times.
Twilight, dear, please come out. We're very worried about you.
You think she's still angry at me about what happened?
Pinkie Pie's lip quivered ever so her voice cracked ever so slightly, and her distinctly puppy mane began to inflate, straightening around the edges. Every pony, into the bunker!
Fuck this shit.
Oh, I don't think so, Pinky dear. Our darling Twilight isn't one to hold a grudge. Still, it is rather odd that she hasn't even come out of the library for 3 days straight.
Holy crap!
3 days?
Hey, I've isolated myself in my basement for 4.
And Twilight holding
I
a
did
grudge?
come up for the bathroom, so I don't have a bathroom. And I didn't come up for food in the store.
But Twilight holding a grudge.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably gonna still be pissed off at you for trying to make a party out of a game.
And causing Ponyville burst into flames.
Just as Rarity raised her roof to rap on the door yet again, it creaked open ever so slightly.
Twilight?
Echoed the 3 ponies, mingling together as one. Hey guys! Here to see Twilight? Came the ever-recognizable voice of Spike.
Just a friendly checkup, Spike. I do hope the poor dear is feeling even the tiniest bit better.
Rarity's voice trailed off the last few words of her sentence. She felt so sorry for her friend. Looking into the white unicorn's ejected eyes, Spike couldn't help but feel a pang of heartache as he felt invisible cords tighten around his chest. The one thing he could never resist, even more so than gemstones, was Rarity. Seeing her so dejected was little torture for his poor soul. Aww.
No.
Well, too bad everybody exercises to that.
Twilight's definitely feeling better, muttered the baby dragon. He was subtle, but hesitance in his voice was apparent. Pinky and Fluttershy may not have noticed, but Rarity had seen one too many soaps to be anything but observant about this.
Spike, it would mean so much to me if you could help us.
She pleaded, putting on the most pitiful look she could muster, even throwing in a good bat of her eyelashes for safety's sake. The baby dragon could swear the look in Rarity's eyes could have made a Hydra throw itself off a cliff.
What?
Wait,
what?
Can you try to slow down this?
The look in Rarity's eyes would have made a Hydra throw itself off a cliff, had she so willed it. Spike never stood a chance.
Oh. He gave up, did he?
I don't know, that's the thing. I know she's on an appointment assignment from Princess Celestia, but she swore that she wouldn't leave her seat until that score bar refused to go any higher.
Score bar?
Murmured Fluttershy, now confused. It was then that the 3 gathered ponies heard something coming from the library's interior that they had failed to notice before. It was a sound of beeps going off in varied intervals, each with a subtly different tone. None of them had heard any sound like that before. Naturally, Pinkie Pie stepped forward to push open the door, her curiosity quite piqued.
Woo! Sounds like another one of those video games where the Celestia sent Twilight.
No, fuck off! Fuck off!
No, Pinkie, you're not needed.
No,
cried out
Bad
excitedly.
Actually, I could give Pinkie this one.
Yeah.
Bad Pinkie.
Yeah.
Bad.
Her grin,
Bad
however,
pony.
remained just as hopeful as before.
Can we go and take a look at Spike?
The young dragon shrugged, not seeing any problem with it. Well, she did say she didn't want to be disturbed, but I guess so long as you don't startle her or something, it should be fine. I swear, ever since he picked up that thing, it's like she's been in a trance. She doesn't even stop to eat or drink until she finishes one round, and even after that, it's right after the next one. Upon hearing this, Fluttershy's eyes widened, her mouth drooping open in shock and concern for her friend.
Oh my, that's terrible. Is she all right?
Actually, she's fine, said Spike. It's just a little weird. She spends quite some time cooped up by herself, but as far as I can tell, she's taking just enough care of herself just so she can continue playing that game.
Oh my.
Rarity had a hoof to her mouth at that, quite surprised by her purple-maned friend's sudden bout of fervor regarding a simple game, even if it was sent to her by the princess.
If it has Twilight cooped up in the library for 3 days straight, it must be quite the game.
Then again, judging from how seriously she took her role as the princess protégée, Rarity could even envision Twilight taking to anything sent to her by Princess Celestia with the fervor of a mad pony. Yeah. Closing the door after Fluttershy, the last to enter, Spike led the three further into the library. Ascending the steps leading to Twilight's room, the beep slowly continued to grow in volume and frequency. It seemed as though whatever it was that Twilight was playing, it was speeding up so rapidly it made Rainbow Dash's Buccaneer Blaze seem slow in comparison. Oof.
Wow.
Ow.
As the three mayors stepped into Twilight's room proper, they beheld something unexpected. Twilight, for all intents and purposes, was the same hale, fit, and healthy pony they knew, bent over at her study desk as she usually would be this time of day. Yet, instead of poring over some dusty tome, official scroll, or memoir of Princess Celestia as they usually found her doing, she was focused, nay, literally glued to a small strange object that she held in both her hooves.
What? Glued?
Pinkie Pie was the first at Twilight's shoulder, looking over it at the screen of the device she held, but the Lavender Unicorn didn't even so much as acknowledge her presence. She was far too engrossed on what was going on the screen.
Oh no.
She's glued to the game. Welcome to the game.
Time to play the game!
Game called Color. Get into it. Literally.
Rarity and Fluttershy were next, peering over Twilight's other shoulder, mouths dropping wide as they beheld something that defied all conventional laws of sense. Twilight's hooves were zipping around in rapid-fire twitches as so incredibly fast, calling them a blur would be a grave injustice. In response, the colored blocks appearing on top of the device's screen were stabbing downwards into place at the bottom, whizzing past at speeds even Rarity admitted it was impossible for her to watch or even follow. But it was not just how fast the pieces were being placed at the bottom that was mind-blowing, it was how perfectly they were being placed, given the speed at which Twilight was throwing them down.
Perfect.
The blocks came in all shapes and sizes, ranging from long 4-block eyes to shorter ones shaped like T's and L's. Pinkie and Rarity were having a hard time even wrapping their heads around the combinations possible.
Generally, aka their stomp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yet no matter the shape or size, Twilight's manipulation of the pieces was nothing short of artistic. Few other words would do it justice than when every single move gave birth to perfect order.
Oh no, she's arranging.
Every time she managed to completely fill up the box on her screen horizontally, every block within that complete row would vanish, leaving more space for more blocks to descend. Twilight's level of skill at this was unbelievable. Rarity could deduce the rules of the game from watching, but she figured at the most she could only clear 1 or 2 rows at once. Twilight, on the other hand, was clearing 4 at a time!
Damn.
That, my friends, is called a Tetris.
Yep.
No, it's called concentration.
No, 4 lines at once. That's called a Tetris.
I would like to see Twilight play either Bejeweled or Candy Crush.
As every pony assembled to watch in awe, Twilight left no block misplaced. Not even a single unsightly blank was left in between as each block came together like pieces in a grand puzzle.
Damn.
It was a marriage of grace and precision so simply profound that Rarity's self-professed patron of the culture and artistic could not help but stare, mesmerized. With every pony content to watch in all its silence, minutes passed by, the game never relenting as it continued to speed up and up and up and up. Pace quickening to the point that even the normally over-hyper Pinkie Pie could do little to follow what was happening on screen. Whoa.
Going at speed of Mach, holy fuck.
Damn.
Soon the minutes turned to hours. Even the increase in speed was beginning to take its toll on Twilight as slowly, bit by bit, the Lavender Unicorn began to make mistakes. Blank blocks were starting to show as Twilight left them in between pieces, her concentration wavering as her time began taking a slow toll on her beleaguered mind. Realizing she was slipping, Twilight blinked herself back to the game, answering once more with her rapid-fire hoof twitches as she threw blocks left and right with a master's eye. Before any pony knew it, the blank areas were gone and Twilight's perfectly formed block of pieces once again dominated the screen. The end game came as abruptly as the blocks appeared, just as the score bar on the screen hit 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. The entire box suddenly cleared out and credits began to roll in simple 8-bit text, congratulating the player on accomplishing a true monumental feat. But it still wasn't over. More blocks began to descend from the top of the box, but the moment Twilight threw them down to the bottom of the screen, they turned invisible.
Huh?
Hard mode engaged, motherfucker!
No, I think she broke the game.
Rarity almost fainted right there and then, but as if it wasn't unbelievable enough, there was a distinctive beep of 4 rows being cleared at once.
Damn.
From behind Pinkie Pie's
She didn't break the game. That is a legit hard mode in Tetris.
From behind Pinkie Pie's
Never
rear.
got that before.
From behind Pinkie Pie's rear, there was a sound of masonry hitting the floor, and when Fluttershy sneaked a glance, she saw a neat little pile of bricks gathered behind her pink mane.
Oh no!
Wait, what?
She literally shat bricks.
Wait, what? Wait, repeat that! Could you? What?
Okay, from behind Pinkie Pie's rear, there was the sound of masonry hitting the floor, and when Fluttershy sneaked a glance, she saw a neat little pile of bricks gathered behind her pink mane friend.
She shat bricks!
Quite literally.
Doesn't that hurt?
It's Pinkie Pie. Don't question it because Pinkie Pie.
And they're horses. They can shit like, bricks, literally. Phew! It's finally over!
Breathed Twilight, letting her hooves go limp as the credits finished rolling. No sooner had she actually spoken for the first time in uncounted hours, the Lavender Unicorn cratered neck around for a nice stretch, only to behold a very odd expression of 3 very familiar ponies.
Ah! How long have you guys been standing there?
Her friends could do nothing but stammer with their eyes wide, as jaws sagged in disbelief. Rarity had leveled a trembling right hoof straight at her friend, apparently unable to find her tongue.
What? Is something in my mane? Is your core on fire? Another baked bad incident? Did Ditsy bring some Paris sprites? Is Pretty Celestia here?
Oh, holy shit!
Twilight!
The Lavender Unicorn was beginning to get worried now.
What did I do to my computer?
Just how many hours had she burnt on Princess Celestia's game cult? She knew she had spent some time on it, but surely it couldn't have been that bad. Quickly glancing around for her calendar, her eyes widened in shock as she realized just how much time she had actually spent.
Oh my goodness! I've been playing for 3 whole days!
She gasped, the shock of what she had done clearly registering across her face.
3 fucking whole days, goddamn.
I'm sorry, every pony. I must have had you so worried. You? I know. I must have looked as if I was ignoring my best friends. But it wasn't meant to look that way, honest. You were amazing, Twilight!
Throwing themselves at their best friend, all 3 ponies proceeded to give them a now perplexed Twilight Sparkle one very tight, bone-crunching hug. Trapped in the embrace of some of her best friends, Twilight couldn't help but blink a little in confusion, barely wheezing out a single phrase as she struggled for breath.
Wait, what? I'm really sorry I left you guys out there for so long. Oh gosh, you must have been so sick about me. I've already told you, Twilight dear. Don't worry about it.
Rarity cooed soothingly as she walked with her friend back to the library after the massive party at Sugar Cube Corner that Pinkie Pie decided to throw on the spot after Twilight finished the game.
We're all just glad you're fine, even after all those days in the library.
Apparently the Pink Earth Pony called the party congratulations, Twilight, on finally beating Tetris Party, and had thrown the whole thing together with shocking speed as was her usual modus operandi. Yeesh. Shouldn't be surprised, really. Twilight didn't even want to know how Pinkie had even managed to do it, but she had managed to drag in the rest of her friends into it, and now the purple maned unicorn was walking back to her library alongside Applejack and Rainbow Dash, too, along with Rarity, Fluttershy, and Pinkie Pie. Pink Earth Pony still Larry bouncing hyperactively when they had back to the party.
Man, you should have seen Twilight playing that game! When I was first saw her playing it, she was whoosh, whoa, bam! All over the place. My hair was like, I was like, but we didn't even make a sound because it was just so super duper incredibly awesome! She was so fast, she was almost as fast as you, Dashy!
Yeah, Gloaton's not gonna
Rainbow Dash shook her head, that same old smirk right back on her face.
Alright, Pinkie, you had me going right up until that last part. But man, Twilight, you've got to give me a shot at that game.
I'd be glad to lend to you, Rainbow Dash. I've already pretty much beaten it and... Ow! I think my hooves are gonna break anyway.
Twilight, you're not hurt, are you?
No. Just a little sore.
She worked one of her hooves in a circle, an ominous popping noise emanated from her. Ooh.
Carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Damn it, I was about to say that.
I didn't notice how tired my hooves were getting until I was done planing.
Oh, it's settled. I'm not gonna sleep until I beat Twilight's high score.
Let me explain something to you, Rainbow Dash. There's something in old school games like Tetris called kill screen. It's what happens when pretty much when you pass 999,999, it actually causes the score to reset to 0, causing the game to break.
You can't.
Applejack piped up. Twilight hit the score cap. Don't go higher than 9s across the board.
Oh.
Rainbow looked disappointed for all of 2 seconds right before she perked up again.
Then I'll hit the cap in 2 days! Beat her best time instead of her best score!
Good luck.
Good luck.
Book.
Well, we're here. I'll grab the cane cool for you, Rainbow. Thanks again for the great party, Pinkie. Now, I'll see in 1 second, and...
She vanished into the darkened hallway, heading off her study to grab the game colt. Dash rubbed her hooves together eagerly.
Oh man, I can't wait to bust Twilight's best time.
Rainbow Dash, I'm surprised at you. I thought you would have been built better to steal some pony's thunder when they've accomplished something great. Remember how that feels?
Rainbow paused and shrugged.
Hey, she said I could go for it. Besides, records are there to be broken, right?
Well, it's highly unlikely that you'll get the chance to rub it in her face or anything, so perhaps I'm worrying over nothing.
Oh yeah! I'm not gonna break a friendship over a game or anything. I'll make sure that they want. Hey!
It's a game about making lines out of blocks. How hard could it possibly be? Doesn't matter how fast they come down. I'll keep up with them, no problem.
Wow, that was Rainbow Dash's line.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you read it already, so...
Alright, sorry.
You fucked up.
I done goof. Sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry.
Oh, fuck.
It's okay. We all make mistakes. Let's just go on.
Sound of rapid hoof steps caused them to glance toward the darkened library hallway, and Rainbow gestured regally toward Twilight's rapidly approaching silhouette.
Here she comes now. Tetris will know what hit it. Bring it on!
Good luck, Rainbow.
And that was when Twilight suddenly burst through the door, panting. She looked terrified, to say the least.
Girls, come quick! Hurry!
What's going on?
Pinkie Pie blinked.
It's Spike. He's hurt.
Uh-oh.
Wait.
What happened?
Oh,
What?
Oh, hi? Where did this happen?
Indeed he was. The tiny purple dragon lay twitching on the ground, clutching his stomach and gasping. Twilight was immediately at his side, cradling the young dragon in her hooves.
Spike,
That's Twilight.
what's wrong? What happened?
Spike put a
Epilepsy?
trembling finger at something over his shoulder, letting out a feeble rasp before passing out. Twilight looked over his shoulder, following where Spike had pointed. Her eyes bulged.
Why?
What looked like an electric guitar lay in the corner. A microphone stood mounted on a tripod. Pinkie Pie nearly tripped over what could only be described as a drum set lying in the middle of the dark hallway.
Oh dear God, no! Guitar Hero!
Wait, what?
No, not Guitar Hero.
It is Rock Band.
Rock Band?
Shit, I hate that game so bad.
Rainbow
Or it could be Band Hero.
No, it's Rock Band.
Anyway, Rainbow, it's your turn.
What? What in the Equestria is all that?
Rarity just looked just as stunned.
No, couldn't have. Spike couldn't have caught up all this at once. Oh, the poor thing must be exhausted. And of course he's out cold.
Probably thought with a small smirk. Suddenly she recoiled. Pinkie had nearly shoved the scroll attached to the box up her nose.
What does it say? It's a new game, isn't it? Read it, read it, read it!
My dearest, most faithful student, I am pleased to hear that you are feeling better after that hiatus you took, and so proud of your great accomplishment. The teams who worked on Tetris boasted on its difficulty, and from what they showed me of it, their claims seem far from hyperbolic. So again, congratulations. I must apologize as well as the sudden influx of devices that Spike has us caught up. The students seemed very zealous about their latest game, and they all sent in devices through the pipeline before I had a chance to stop them. I do hope that Spike is alright. More importantly, Twilight, the University of Electronic Engineering has also given me some very exciting news. They claim that we are working on a threshold of something great, that in a matter of a few months, they'll be able to market the Xbox and its games to all of Equestria. Taking into your account of previous reports, I foresee that this has a chance to be a great thing for the nation of Equestria. In the meantime, I do hope you will enjoy assessing the newest title, which I believe is called Rock Band. From what I've heard...
Ow!
From what I've heard, this is a rhythm game, where the central focus appears to be music. I do sincerely hope you and your friends will be able to enjoy it together. Your mentor, Princess Celestia. P.S. If at all possible, could you perhaps send the game code to me? I want to try my hope at Tetris.
Forget Gamer Luna, we got Gamer Celestia, man!
Twilight finally
Gamer Molly.
looking back out at her friends. Her eyes saw on Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow?
Yeah, I know, she's the princess and everything. I'll buy Tetris when it comes out or something.
Her voice was incredibly bitter. Twilight looked quickly back at the parchment.
I actually don't know where to go from here, Rainbow. I mean, the princess asked for the game code, I should give it to her, no question. But on the other hand, I promised to you first.
And suddenly a small smirk formed on Twilight's face.
And besides... Besides what, Twilight?
Twilight chuckled.
Besides, if I gave Princess Celestia Tetris, the sun would never rise again.
Motherfucker!
Wow! I'm sorry.
In your face, Sun Princess!
Lordy.
You see, I don't care if you're the Sun Princess, you still must have felt that burn!
Woohoo! That was a perfect ending to this chapter. That was...
Oh, God.
Sorry, Celestia, but yeah.
That one-liner, Twilight.
And that, I think
Someone give that
there.
Someone give that pony a freaking medal.
Yeah.
Because you just burned Celestia.
I know, her own mentor.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should call this a night. Oh Lord, this has gone crazy.
But yes, next
After
chapter...
several weeks of mindfucks, it's actually good that we actually ended the stream on a high note.
Yeah, and now, next chapter, yes, the girls will be dealing with Rock Band.
Fuck, the world is as we know will end.
Now, I never looked at this.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and I hate
Rock Band.
Now, let's see. If it's gonna be Rock Band, I wonder if... Oh my god, imagine if Octavia or Vinyl got involved.
Oh
Yes!
God. No!
Yes!
Fuck yeah. Oh my god, Octavia and Vinyl trying at it. Oh god.
Nah, I don't think they'll like it. I mean, Vinyl will probably find DJ Hero, and then Octavia will be like, "How do you work this?"
Yeah, Pinkie Pie would probably enjoy Rock Band, considering how she likes to sing a lot.
I just realized if they bring the Nintendo DS to Equestria, Pinkie Pie would be obsessed with Cooking Mama.
And Twilight will be obsessed with Brain Academy.
Not only Brain Academy, Professor Layton, and Phoenix Wright.
Oh yeah, definitely had.
All right.
Yeah, that was
This
fun.
was
And
fun.
Before we go, I need to ask you one thing. Can you do the voice of Button Mom?
Of who?
Button's mom.
Button Mash's mother.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of the line she said. It's been a long time since I.
Oh God, please don't, please don't, please for the love of Jesus!
Oh, and by the way, try to blee.
Close.
What?
Not bad.
It's one of those from the actual episode. Anyways, I'm gonna call this a night. So
Yeah.
you might as
Great.
well say
Well,
night,
that's-
because
It's great to be back again.
Yes.
Yeah, still
And
haven't given me diabetes.
Back for every future installment. Why the hell did you leave? Don't leave us.
Too bad.
She'll be back, boys.
Oh, trust me, I'll be back. Besides, giving all 4 diabetes at once, it was worth it.
You didn't give me fucking diabetes. You haven't yet.
Well, what?
You gave the 3.
I will. It'll
You
happen.
won't. You won't.
say goodnight, guys.
Good night, all you lovely
Stay tuned
people.
for
See you
QZ.
around.
Good night.